I'm late today. It's just another crazy day. Another crazy day. Just get my phone on the charger. Low battery. Well, not low battery, but get myself set up and then we're ready to rock. Good morning, Pro Pyro, or good afternoon. I'm late today. Some stuff to do this morning. Good morning, Corey. Thank you for being here. Happy Monday. How's everyone doing today? Got a bunch of stuff to work on today. We're gonna harvest some jalapeños and I'll tell you why in a sec. We are going to harvest some flowers just to help those plants out in the tower. And we are going to feed the buckets. So first things first, I have to make some 3% hydrogen peroxide because I used it all up for my root rinses. So I'm gonna make some right now. Some gloves on. So I use 29% hydrogen peroxide and I dilute it a 9-to-1 ratio with water, and brings it down to 3%. And then I use that in small amounts when I'm running my system. Good morning, Bernie. Happy Monday to you. Hope everyone's having a great morning so far. I've had a really productive one. Had to go get an oil change this morning. Had to cut the grass, deal with all that stuff, and took care of my outdoor garden a little bit. Oh my gosh, I have to tell you guys, wow, I had the best experience yesterday. Okay, so I have always been fascinated with hummingbirds and I've never seen one in my whole life. Like obviously seen one like online, or you know, people have sent me pictures and stuff, but I've never actually seen one for myself. And so I was dealing with the dehumidifier yesterday, which I'll tell you guys about in a minute. But I was after I finished, I got frustrated, and then I decided to just take my dog out to the backyard, and I was inside the basement but looking out at my garden, my outdoor garden, and I see this like black thing just like flying. You know how hummingbirds fly, they like, I don't know, they zip around and hover. And I was like, what is that? So I walked out and I got a little closer, and at first I thought, like, is that like a huge dragonfly or is it a bat? It didn't even cross my mind that it would be a hummingbird. And then I got closer and I saw that it was a hummingbird pollinating my flowers, and I freaked out. I got so excited that I literally screamed, and I scared him away so I couldn't even capture it. But it was the coolest experience. My garden brought a hummingbird around, and that was so awesome. It's honestly, the same thing happened to me last week with like time and place. You know, I randomly decided to just take my dog out, or no, I didn't even take my dog out. Last week I just randomly, I needed air and I was go out to the backyard for a minute, and all summer I haven't seen any monarch butterflies, and literally the second I went out, a monarch just landed on my flower and sat there for like 5 minutes. And I felt like the same thing happened yesterday. It's like, I don't know what prompted me. I didn't need to go outside, but I did. And it was just like and I don't usually go out at that time. And it was just a matter of time and place. And it was so awesome. It was so, I know it's not that big of a deal because now as I'm realizing, people see them all the time, but I can't believe it. And I don't want to be, you know, sitting out there waiting for him to come around again, because it's possible that it might not. But oh my gosh, you guys, I can't believe I almost forgot to tell you guys that. Death Squad, good morning. Happy Monday. Pro Pyro says hummingbirds have battles with bees sometimes. I bet. They're fighting for real estate. Hippie J, thank you for being here. Happy Monday. Bernie says plant some milkweed to save the monarch butterflies. I did not know that that was a thing, and I will absolutely do that. I don't even want the flowers for myself at this point. I want to just have a sanctuary for pollinators. That's all I care about. I even stopped. I know Lost Coast isn't like bad. It's supposedly more natural. And I've been using it like crazy, but even I've stopped that. I'm like, you know what? Let nature do what it do. Summer's almost over. Whatever, man. What's up, Silence? Thank you for being here. I just, well, not just, but I just dropped in on Andrew's live. He went live this morning on Ogo Grown's YouTube page, so I saw Xylens there. So good morning again to you. Cheers, everybody. Death Squad says monarch population is dropping sadly, and Bernie says monarch butterfly caterpillars rely on milkweed to survive and grow. Wow, know that. So next year, that's gonna go in the garden. I'm also gonna be looking up things that attract hummingbirds, because that was so cool. I can't believe I saw a hummingbird. I freaked out. Honestly, you guys, I am such a little kid. I'm such a kid. I freak out about that stuff. I was like, woohoo! A hummingbird! That's like, you know what it felt like? I had such a bad week last week bad 2 weeks, that it was almost like a sign from the universe of like, here's your gift for working hard this week and for all the crap you went through. It was so awesome. But anyways, back to the dehumidifier, you guys. So I went and I picked up this dehumidifier. I had a nice harvest, and I showed up at my friend's house with a nice harvest and beautiful bouquet of flowers from the garden, in which hummingbirds frolic. And I picked up this dehumidifier, and this dehumidifier, it's a big one. It's for 3,000 square feet. So you can imagine putting it in my tent. The power's all maxed out. And I didn't know that my basement was just on one breaker. So I plugged it in, and I just brought the plug into the tent, and I plugged it in somewhere else. And yeah, it tripped the whole breaker. It couldn't take the load. So I ordered one on Amazon, you guys. It'll be here soon, if not already. So it's a small one, inexpensive. It's gonna do the trick. And until then, I've turned the AC down 1 degree. It's gonna help pull the moisture out of the air, because air conditioning just like dries things right up, you know? I've been lucky. I have native milkweed that grows in my yard. Oh, that's awesome. I have milkweed seeds, but I've not started yet. Any tips on starting them? Death, you let me know when you get those tips, because I'm going to need them next. I'm going to do that next year. Yeah, I don't know how invasive it is. I don't know anything about milkweed. I don't even know what it looks like. All right, so making my 3%. We're gonna get that. All right. Un momento. Be right back. Don't go anywhere. Good morning, Muffiz. Wait, are they those yellow flowers? Like tall with a yellow flower? Because I'm finding all of these in my backyard, and I don't know what they are, and they're kind of pretty, and I kind of don't want to get rid of them. Anyways, be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'm back. I'm so unprepared today, you guys. They're easy to grow. Not sure on germinating seeds though. Where's my... Look it up. And my other device right here. Weed. I do not have that here. Definitely do not have that here. But very cool looking. I'm gonna plant some for sure. All right, so at 3% hydrogen peroxide, I'm going to get that into its best so I have it for the next time. So today we're gonna harvest some jalapeños and some flowers. There's so many zinnias that are ready to be harvested in the yellow tower, so we're gonna get those out. We are also, what is up, Ogo? I feel like I just saw you like an hour ago. Thank you for giving me something to do while I was getting an oil change this morning. I tuned into your live. Beautiful plants you got there, and you are killing it, my friend. So everyone, go check out Ogo Grown's YouTube and see what they got growing. They got a lot of good stuff there. Bernie says, recommend planting it because if us gardeners don't do anything, the monarch butterfly will be extinct in the next few years. Absolutely. I will absolutely be planting some milkweed. I agree with you, Bernie. It's one of those things where we've got to take matters into our own hands because nobody else is going to do anything. And so, you know, people see monarch butterfly, like even my neighbor, for example. She like pulled at me across the fence the other day. She's like, oh my God, I saw a monarch butterfly in your garden. And she was like so excited about the butterfly. She like has nothing in her garden, no flowers, nothing. And it's like people get excited about something, but then when it comes time to preserve the species, they don't give a crap. And it's like, what the heck, man? You know? We need these pollinators, and monarch butterflies, I mean, they're beautiful. So we'll definitely be planting some milkweed, that's for sure. What up, Ray? Good morning. Happy Monday. I hope you guys are all having a great day. I really feel a new attitude this week compared to last week. I am going to take the bull by the horns and get shit done, get shit fixed. I have water bottles in the freezer I forgot to take out to reduce my water temp. I got to get the pH down because I'm having pepper problems right now. And so yeah, we're gonna get to work. No tent tour, just some work. And as I, you know, walk around, I'll probably stop and show you something. Actually, I have a great update. I have new strawberries growing, and as I've had the fan blowing right at them, I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna get my glasses on. We're gonna go under really. As I've been pointing the fan to the strawberries, The strawberries that are grown now are firm. They are no longer soft. So I think it was the temperature. And I just can't wait to see what happens when we reduce the water temperature. Also the shape, it looks a little more plump, and it's definitely not soft. Like I can't squish it like the other one. So that is some really exciting news. I've got her in a cooler spot. So for those of you that did just join or have not been following along, the strawberry plant was in the center of the grow back there, and I moved her out here, and she's got her own personal airflow station going. Strawberries don't like anything that's above 22 degrees Celsius, and so it's been a challenge to try to satisfy their needs, because this environment, I'm growing so many different things that it's difficult. So really good update. I'm really excited about that. It's going to be awesome. Can you tell I've had a lot of coffee today? I'm just in a really good, you guys. It's always a good feeling when you have the control to, or the power to fix things that are going wrong. And so even though I had things going wrong, we've got the control, baby. So I am going to mix my 3% up. I'm not going to add that in right now because I got to focus on the pH first, and then we're going to start our routine again with hydrogen peroxide. Plus, all of our plants just got a root rinse with hydrogen peroxide. So, I'm going to give them a break. So first thing I need to do is add in some more bloom. I've been adding in, I don't know if maybe I should do CalMag first, because I added in my bloom yesterday. Let's add in some calcium first. I added, how much did I do? I added in 2 jugs yesterday. So we're going to add in, I'm going to do 15 mils of CalMag, and then I'm going to do probably 2 milliliters per liter, or maybe 2.25 mils per liter of the bloom at the end of this live. I checked the nozzles today. Everything's working great. So I'm not too concerned about the nutrient locking out. Whoop. Overflowed my tablespoon a little bit. So I just want to talk about transparency while working. So yesterday, I got a comment from somebody saying, how come you're not showing us all the bad stuff in your garden? You're only showing us the good stuff, and we need honesty. So I invited them to come join our lives, because you guys know how we do on the lives. So on that note, if there's anything that you guys want to see that I haven't shown you, like the roots of something, or the inside of the tower, or the bottom of the buckets, or if you guys want to see like something's happening, just ask me and I'll show you. I'm not trying to hide anything in the tent. I'll show you guys everything. That's the whole point. How you guys gonna learn? I'm gonna learn if I messed up or not, but I'll show you guys. All right, so this is the first bucket system, then we're gonna do the second. I'm just adding it into the reservoir. And then the pump's gonna circulate it, and then we will add our other stuff. Yeah, I was gonna comment back and tell the person, what? Watch today's live. Like literally I showed you guys the worst root rot that probably ever existed. The root rots of all root rot. And yeah, I mean, or like when I cut down my plants on the live and I was like holding back tears, you know? We gotta show it all, because it's something we all go through. So yeah, if there is something you want to see Just ask and I shall deliver. What's up, Mia? So good to see you. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Happy Monday. And thank you. Appreciate you so much. And I appreciate you even dropping in to say hello to everyone. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. Sending you positivity and sunshine. Sending all of you positivity and sunshine. I think that's why I got so defensive on yesterday's live. I'm actually a little bit embarrassed about that. It's just, you know what? I get irritated because like I'm really trying my best to just learn, and I get that sometimes things look complicated unnecessarily, and so whatever, man. We're all human. We are all human. So yeah, you can definitely feel the Mia, look happier after your plant takedown. Absolutely. You know, the great thing about plants is you can always grow back. And I'm privileged that I have a space and a community to allow me to learn and do that. So in the bigger picture, it's all good. And as a learner, I believe that I should equip myself, because I think that would be happening for the rest of my life. I think things are going to always be going wrong. It's just about the comeback. It's all about the comeback. Add CalMag to the second bucket. I'm trying to get back on track with my nutrients after last week's shit show. What's up, Tristan? What's up, Hasholio? Oh my gosh, Hasholio, my new dehumidifier. I set it up yesterday, turned it on, and everything shut off. Tripped the breaker in the whole. So yeah, I ordered one on Amazon. It's gonna be here today, if it isn't already here now. But yeah, it's going to be here today. It's a small countertop or tabletop one, and it is perfect for what I need. It's for 300 square feet, and this tent is 200 square feet. The one from my friend is like really, I mean, I don't know if it's high end, but it's a pretty heavy duty dehumidifier, and it's for like more than 2,000 square feet. So it's just pulling too much power, and the tent can't handle it, and I'd have to come up with some like creative options of putting in a new outlet or a new panel or something just for the tent, just to increase load. And I'm like, you know what, let me just get a small one. I don't need one this big. You know, it's not like I have this huge infrastructure where I have to eliminate the humidity. So I think it's going to be perfect for what I need, and I will that'll pull moisture out of your skin, LOL. Yes, it'll make like the plastic from the towers even more brittle. You know what I'm saying? But thank you for asking, Hasholio. All right, I'm gonna get this in the second bucket system. We're gonna harvest, and then we'll go in and add our bloom. So I just realized that my pH is off, and my mentality was, well, get the nutrients back on track, and that's going to readjust your pH. But I don't think the plants take the nutrients properly if the pH isn't right. So I should have put pH down first, and then I should have added in my nutrients. Oh well. We're gonna give it time to circulate, and then we'll check the pH again. And if at that point it's not right, before we add in the bloom, we'll add in some pH down. I don't know the rules about adding pH up or down. You know, can you add it at the same time as feeding plants? Does it precede nutrients? Should it be added like on a completely different day? If any of you guys know, drop it in the chat. So I am going to harvest some jalapenos today. I saw this recipe on Instagram and then I just looked online and there's a ton of them. I am gonna be making cowboy candy and it actually sounds really good. So I'll backtrack for a minute. My jalapeno peppers are extremely spicy, very, very, very spicy. And you know, if you add sweetness to spice, it kind of helps kill the spice. So there's a recipe for it's candied pickled jalapenos. I'm not sure it matters which is first, as long as the pH is right. All right, well, we're gonna adjust the pH in the next like maybe 20 minutes. We're gonna harvest the jalapenos, then we're gonna check the pH and see. Death Squad says, I don't think it matters. I usually add nutrients, wait for things to settle a bit, and then I test the pH, determine if it needs pH up or down. Good plan, let's do that. And Ogos, shout out to all the cowboys. Tristan says to do the nutrient first makes sense to me, then you can correct the difference easier. You guys make me feel better about that. Thank you. See, this is what it's all about, is I'm not I don't know things, and so it's important to talk it through. And see, I learned something new today. Honestly, I would not be where I am without this community. You guys are freaking awesome. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Those are the things that they're, you know, they seem like small things, but when you practice these things correctly, it makes the world of a difference in your grow. And I'm starting to learn that. It matters if the pH is too low or too high. If it's too low, you can just add more water. My pH is too high, unfortunately. Yes, and don't use up and down together. I've never done that before. I've actually never used, so I ordered, before I started this journey and before I knew anything about anything, which I'm still questioning if I do, I ordered from Amazon, up or down, and it was from a brand called Standard Hydroponics. It's not even around anymore, and I don't know if the colorant in the solution is just added so that you can tell the difference of which is which, because what's happening to my bottles is the colorant is dissolving and everything else is staying to the top, so I'm not sure if I should be using it. I also have the powdered packets where you just add water and dissolve the pH up or down powder, but it seems like a lot of work to do today. Plus, I gotta go looking for it, so I'm just wondering if the liquid has separated, can you still use it? Hashilia says, try not to use pH up. Ogo says, using silica. Oh, I don't use silica, but put it in first by itself and mix it before you add anything else. If you add up and down together at the same time, it just makes pure H2O. Cool. Yeah. The Wickershire, you probably have a list of like funny shit to open with every time you enter the chat. Always. Thank you. Wickershire says, Nat's gloved up. Your proctology exams will begin shortly. Oh my gosh, you guys are hilarious. So funny. Let's go harvest some jalapenos. Actually, let's do the zinnias first. Flowers over everything. Oh my god, you guys are hilarious. Oh, what am I doing with this? I'm gonna bring this, and we'll get water in it after. Actually, no, I'll do it now. Oh my god. Sometimes I'm a freaking idiot. Oh. What a moron. just overflowed the funnel. And oh, congrats! Oh, that's so exciting. Ogo says the flowers that they planted hydroponically as bloomed. Awesome. Oh man, you know, sometimes I wonder if like I hit my head or something as a child. Like sometimes I do the dumbest shit I make fun of people for, and then I do it. I'm like, what is wrong with you? All right, let's go harvest some flowers. All right. Welcome to the chat. Horrible people forget to hit the like button. Oh my god. All right, you guys are... Oh, thank you so much, Death Squad. So that bouquet I harvested yesterday along with some mustard leaves, some parsley, and sage, and a bunch of different peppers, and a bunch of tomatoes in exchange for the dehumidifier. It wasn't like a trade-off or anything, but you can't ask somebody for something without bringing them something, you know? Or at least that's how I operate. Yes! That is the whole point. Why shouldn't I capitalize on my clumsiness, Wickershire? You know, like if I could provide you guys with entertainment while I'm just a miserable mess, you know, why not? It's what it's all about, you guys. No, but you know what? In all seriousness, I don't take life too seriously. I just have fun and I try my best, and that's it. I'm sure you guys see that. All right, so we've got some flowers here. These are zinnia flowers. They're not on the right nutrients, so they're definitely not anywhere near the quality that they should be. But we're having fun, we're experimenting, and we're gonna harvest them now because they're growing like crazy. Maybe I should repot these or bring them to the bucket system and see how they do there. And see how the color changes and stuff, you know? Because these, I think, are the same as the really bright pink ones that I had, so I'll show you guys. I harvested these weeks ago. Like before I had to take down the flower plant, and they're still surviving, but you see how they kind of like stack like that? So that's the quality of a zinnia flower, or this variety in particular, when they're on the right nutrients and they are getting enough light, not getting overwatered. And so I think these are the exact same variety, but this is a result of malnutrition and just improper environment. So they are cute, but they could be better. They could be much better. So first I just want to see how the dahlia does in the bucket system. I think it'll look, I think I'm just gonna leave that on its own for now, and then maybe at a later time I'll introduce the zinnias. The problem is the zinnias are like cucumbers, very susceptible to disease, so I want to keep them away from the rest of the grow, to be honest with you. when it comes to outdoors, the more they get pollinated, the more the color fades. So outdoors, the quality of the flower isn't as. So I can tell that these aren't getting enough light. They're like bending over, and they look like crap, to be honest. They're not very pretty, but that's okay. All right, maybe we should eventually move this plant. I don't know. I might just get rid of it. Look, it's got something on the leaves again. My garden is dead, LOL. See what we got here? So this is obviously nutrients because it's flowering, but I might just get rid of this plant. I'm not really excited about it right now. Same with the celosia. What I'm thinking of doing actually is, so the green tower is, it's having a rough time because the issues that I had last week with the watering, and so a lot of the lettuce got ruined. And once you remove the lower leaves, all the new lettuce that's growing is great, but I am having a bit of a challenge with. So what I'm thinking is to kind of finish up the green tower, harvest, eat it, and then reset the green tower. Once the green tower is reset, get the herbs that are good along with the lettuce that'll be ready in the green tower, and then focus on creating the strawberry tower, because the yellow tower is supposed to be a strawberry tower, and I think that strawberries are so bushy and they hang, it's going to cover the surface area of the tower enough that I won't have an algae problem. You know, unfortunately, so these towers are awesome. I never used to have an algae problem, but because I take it apart and I put it back together so many times, some of the connecting pieces are a little loose, or I don't know, over time maybe a little chipped or fragment, I don't know. So there's a little tiny amount of water leaking through, and so when the light hits it, algae develops. Now when the plants get more mature, it doesn't grow. Lucky Pat, I was just showing my droopy green tower. Just telling everybody what the plan is to kind of resurrect things and reset the tower and start over. I've been having some serious challenges in my grow tent, and don't be sorry. I'm welcome. I'm just glad you're here. I'm just catching up on the chat. And that's okay, Pro Pyro. If your garden is dead, you can always try again. So yeah, I've had severe humidity and temperature issues in the grow tent. I'm losing a lot of my lettuce. If you guys were here a week and a half ago, this tower looked great, combined with the high temperatures, the extreme high humidity that I've been trying to combat, and all the other watering issues. The lettuce is looking rough. And so again, the plan is to harvest as much as I can. We're gonna finish it off, we'll eat it. We're gonna take what's in the yellow tower, all the parsley and all that stuff. We're gonna get it in the green tower with our new lettuce, get that up and running so that in 4 months I'll be harvesting. And then, see, that's a problem, the yellow tower. The other towers are great. They have slight algae, water leaks causing algae on the outer walls, but the inside of the tower is clean, no problems. The yellow one, however, because it's a lighter color, the light is going through the tower, and I'm getting algae growth on the inside of the tower. And so my root on everything that's in here is filled in algae. And so that's why I don't want to take my flower plant and move it to the buckets, because I don't want to bring algae or introduce algae when the buckets are doing well. And so I think creating this as my strawberry tower. So we're gonna walk over to the strawberry real quick, and see how bushy it is and how much it covers. this is just in a 3-inch net pot, right? So if I move it to a 2-inch net pot and just cover the tower in those vining plants, then the light won't go through and I won't have algae problems. So maybe my focus should be cloning my strawberry runners, getting the plants to a certain point, and starting to reset the tower and getting those in there, just to optimize my different spaces, you know, because definitely having some challenges, that's for sure. The Wickshire says, Pat, thanks for being lucky. You will not be flayed and quartered. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, welcome everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. So today is kind of a chill day. Feeding my plants, harvesting some crappy flowers that didn't do well, that are not on the right nutrients, that are not good quality at all. And but we're just having fun, you guys. So we're gonna harvest the flowers and then we're gonna go harvest the jalapenos, because tomorrow I'm making cowboy candy. And I will share the recipe in the community. So pretty much it's you're boiling sugar, apple cider vinegar, and celery seasoning and turmeric. Bring it to a boil. Slice your jalapenos 1/4 inch. Add it into the boiling pot. Boil it for a few minutes. Let it cool. Pull it out of the boiling mixture. Let it cool. Put it in a jar. Then put the mixture into the jar. Seal. And it's supposed to be really, really. I'm not a Texan, Wickershire. I am in Ontario, Canada. But yes, I definitely want to try it. It's kind of like candied jalapenos, really good in like sandwiches, salads, burgers, and you know me, I'm a big fan of burgers. So the tower is not on mitters. It's an irrigation pipe that trickles downward, so it's more of a drip. And you're 100% right. Timers is something I'm thinking about with you guys, that I absolutely got to get the towers on. That's another thing with the lettuce, is not only is it too hot in here and too humid for lettuce, but the water is running 24/7, which is really bad. As you can see, the starting to bolt, and the water should only be running periodically, which is something I've recently learned, especially after we cleaned the orange tower together last week. So for those of you guys that missed it, I took apart everything in the orange tower with you guys on the live. We took everything down, cleaned it all, and put it back together, just so you guys can see like everything that's really going on. And yeah, so that kind of gave me more of a direction of, okay, I got to get these on timers, because adding too much or having the water run too much is definitely going to cause root rot, which, as we all know, one of my biggest problems. All right, so we're gonna finish just harvesting these flowers real quick, and then we're gonna go check out the peppers. Again, these are a flowering plant. They should be on a bloom fertilizer. They are not, so I'm even surprised that they even bloomed. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this plant, but I'm probably going to get rid of it. There are other flower varieties that I'd rather be growing. I remind you of a Texas girl. What about me makes you, or reminds you of a Texas girl? I'm not really sure what that means. You refuse to say a boot. Oh, yeah, but you know what? I feel like you're from the East Coast or the West Coast. Most people talk like that, but if you're from like central Canada or more like southern, like Ontario, I feel like people don't talk like that. These flowers are so crappy, I feel stupid even harvesting them. What do I do for storage? Parsley, for example. So normally if I were to store it, I would just put it in a Tupperware or a glass container, or even a Ziploc bag with a very damp piece of paper towel, and every so often just with the paper towel making sure that it stays damp. But you want to be careful because you also don't want mold, so you got to like open it every so often. But I can say I am from Ontario, never heard that before, haha. What? People say a boot? But to be honest, I eat so much parsley. I top my salad with it. I harvest every single night. I harvest parsley. So no need for storage, to be honest. If anything, I wish I had more. But yeah, if I were to store it, like for example, the sage, I've got too much sage. So right now it's just sitting on my counter. I'm drying it, and I'll grind it into a seasoning for cooking. To be honest with you guys, I freaking hate these flowers. They look like shit. So I don't think I'm gonna keep this, you guys. It looks stupid. Oh my gosh, I almost swore. Nobody says that in Ontario. Yeah, I know. Nobody says a or a boot, or I think I've heard a lot of people from, like I said, the Maritimes, like the East Coast, or people from like Alberta. But even people from BC, I think they're such like metropolitan, because they have metropolitan cities, maybe a lot of tourism, that people just talk, I don't know. Oh, you say A all the time? What's up, Main Dad? Good morning or good afternoon. What's up, Jack Ashes? Welcome. All right, guys, so I feel stupid harvesting flowers. They're so dumb. We have clothesline in tiny home. We just clothespin all herbs hanging upside down. Oh, so like cannabis. They're so freaking dumb, you guys. Maybe if I them all the same length, but they're not getting enough light because they're leggy, right? So normally your flowers shouldn't. I'll show you guys the ones that I had in the buckets. Much better quality. Guys, these were harvested 5 weeks ago. 5 weeks ago. No, 4 weeks ago, sorry. They're really old, but even then, like, look at the difference, right? When they're on the right nutrients, they do so much better. I'll do a side-by-side comparison. So I like to do A and B testing. These are same variety, but look at the difference. This should be stacked. We should have multiple layers of petals. It is not being fed well. It is not in the proper environment. It's being overwatered, not enough light. But look at this one. She was on the right nutrients, on the right, in a better area of the tent where it wasn't like so hot, and totally different flower. And what I want to do, what I should do, I should clone from this plant, because even though I don't want to transfer algae, I could propagate a cutting, and we could transfer it in the buckets just to see what it's going to look like. I think we could, because I'm curious, is it going to become more like this, or were these seeds just a dud? I don't think it's a coincidence that even the yellow ones, like I have plants, and all the flowers look like shit. So I think it's because this tower is more to accommodate just herbs, and that's it. Lucky Pat says, tried that with my basil and just turned wilty, but like cannabis makes sense. Yes, so basil I find wilts very, very quickly. I have a really hard time drying that one. I don't even bother, to be honest with you. So yeah, but my outdoor garden is doing better now, you guys. I got like so much more where these came from, and soon we're gonna have our dahlia flower that's gonna bloom in the bucket system. I'm gonna show you guys the new bud that I have. And then we'll harvest some jalapeños for the cowboy king. All right, so For those of you that just joined or that are new here, this is the grow tent. This is where I grow, or I'm learning to grow all of my own food aeroponically all year round, indoors only because I live in Canada and it's freaking cold here. If you know, you know. So these are the tomato plants. We go ripe tomatoes because I picked everything I got yesterday to bring to my friend, just kind of as a thank you for lending me your dehumidifier. So yeah, got a lot of new flowers on the way, new tomatoes. Again, I just harvested maybe like 30 tomatoes yesterday. It was quite a bit. So again, I guess we'll just do a quick tent tour just so I can show you guys what's new. So update, my first strawberries were so mushy, I couldn't even eat them because they were too mushy. And so I researched it, and it's hot and humid. So this girl has her own personal fan. She's nice and cool. And yes, Reefer, I am in Ontario, just outside the GTA. And today my strawberry is actually firm, which is new. So we're also going to focus on the water temperature. I don't have a chiller, but I am going to put some sealed frozen water bottles in the res. Somebody suggested, which is a great suggestion. I'm not sure if this is overwatering or nutrients, but as you guys know, we had nutrient issues, but we're getting back on track. And then we got our little clones here that we got finally clone flowering. So we are getting some berries on the way, which is exciting. Tomato clones. Look at this freaking cluster, you guys. How beautiful is that? These are cherry tomatoes. They're clones of these. And so I see a lot of tomatoes in my future. So yeah, lots of new flowers. Again, you know, the leaves are kind of looking rough. I've had some issues properly implementing nutrients just because I've been focused on damage control. And yes, single zinnia versus double flowered zinnia. I think they're both doubles, and I think it's because it's on the wrong nutrients. Anyways, also, as you guys can see, I've decreased watering and increased the lights a little more, and the size of the tomatoes now has increased. They're like plumping up now, which is pretty cool. So a lot of new buds and stuff. So I'm excited about that. Peppers are in need of some help, but we'll get to that in a minute. Stickershire's asking, are all my old issues that cause all this craziness you fixed, or are they fixed? I think I fixed it. I've been spraying Pure Crop daily for a week now almost. I've been pruning. I've been getting rid of anything that's affected. I've been trying to get the nutrients back on track. So for those of you that don't know, I potentially had downy mildew on 9 cucumber plants last week. I had to cut them down and toss them out. We did it on a live last week, and that was really difficult for me. Just really emotionally connected to my plants. And so I had to get rid of them, and I had to spray everything and get everything else that may have been affected. So got rid of our watermelon plants, except for the one that's currently growing. So that's our sugar baby watermelon there. But yeah, I think we're good, but to be determined. I don't want to count my eggs before they hatch, so let's just give it more time and we'll see. This is a dahlia plant. I've never grown it aeroponically before, but we're experimenting. And here's our first bud, and here's our second bud. So flowers are on the way. It's going to be a surprise. I don't know what the variety is. May or may not be a dark variety because of this, but sometimes purple stems can mean some kind of nutrient deficiency, and like I said, my nutrients is off balance, so the goal of today is to get that back on track. You can see here we've got some deficiency. Not sure what it was. Even Krogan commented on one of my videos confirming. He's like a pepper expert, and so yeah, we're gonna get that on track. And then the Chinese 5 colors, they're all starting to ripen, but you can see So when the leaves start to get like like that, I forget what it is, phosphorus or something. I'm gonna have to research it. And then we've got our pepper plants. These guys are in shock right now. They got a rinse yesterday, and they'll be fine, but they are in shock. But I have faith in them. And then, yeah, we need to add in nutrients. That's what I'm thinking, because the pH is off, and look what's happening. So, kind of panicking, but it's all good. So this is what we're going to be harvesting today. All these jalapeños. I harvested like 20 of them yesterday, but there's still more to come. We've got our bell peppers growing here. So this plant has just gone crazy in the last few days. We gave all of these guys kind of like a root rinse just to, you know, help them out. And yeah, no new growth here yet, but some flowers. And then the eggplants have taken off, and these might be getting overwatered when your pepper plants or leaves start to look like a deflated balloon. Yeah, overwatering. So I'm gonna have to modify the watering schedule right now and, you know, get things back on track. And then we've got our eggplants. Got a few plants growing. This one, like, what is that? I don't know what the heck happened to this one, but we're gonna give it more time. If it's still green, it stays. I mean, yeah, we've got some deficiencies, but that's okay. We're getting there, you guys. A little bit of root rot. So yeah, we got a decluttering. That's what that tells us. So we're gonna harvest some jalapeños right now and move along. What's up, Palmetto? Reef Commander says, awesome, just an hour south out in the country towards Lake Erie in Norfolk. That is so awesome. I would love to be out of the city. I wish one day I could do the country living, because I hate people. Wickershire's the RH is way out of whack. You're 100% on the money. It is way out of whack. I have not slept. I've been so stressed out. You know, I wake up in the middle of the night. My temps are like 70 and my humidity is like 70. I'm like, oh my God. So we're going to get that fixed today, you guys. Water temperature and humidity is something we're taking care of today. What's up, Palmetto? Thank you for being here. Unless I already said that, sorry. Pasholio, what is your reservoir temperature? My res temperature right now is 23 degrees Celsius, 22.8 Celsius, and it should be 20 to 21. So, forget who it was. Somebody suggested frozen water bottle. So I've got water bottles in the freezer, and I'm going to try that just to see how it does. Reef Commander says, you're doing amazing for all that in town. Thank you so much. But again, now I get it. I get why commercial growers spray their shit, and you know, I get it. It's tough to, not to justify the cost, but to keep up. Like, you know, if I'm growing food for myself to eliminate the grocery store, I gotta step it up. I can't have stuff like with my green tower happen like that. I gotta, you know, keep things moving and grooving. And I was there. I was so close until, you know, I had that setback last week. Asholio says, a water chill system that size. Absolutely. So if there are any brands out there watching, I need a water chiller. At least you don't have to worry Japanese beetles. I have, my outdoor garden is completely covered in Japanese beetles. Yeah, that's brutal. So I feel your pain on that one. That's why I'm so excited to have my dahlia flower plant in the aeroponic system indoors, because I have yet to grow a flawless dahlia flower. I've grown the flawless zinnias. We had a couple varieties in here you guys saw, and they turned out incredibly. My only thing is they are susceptible to disease, kind of like the pukes and, you know, the melons and all that stuff. So got to be mindful of that, and it can be challenging. You know, once we get the humidity figured out, I have some special seeds that I would like to grow of the zinnia flowers, a special variety called Precious Metals. They're like metallic-y, very cool looking. All right, we're gonna harvest some jalapenos. Let's go. Doyle's asking, how much air are you bubbling in your water? None. I use hydrogen peroxide in small amounts, 3% hydrogen peroxide. I use 15 mils for every 4 liters, so 1 tablespoon per 4-liter jug. Or for those of you that are in the States, 1 tablespoon per gallon of 3% H2O2 before adding anything else. All right, so let's go to the jalapeno plant. Yep, Hasholio, that's what I do. So the hot air is exhausting at the top of the tent to get rid of the humidity. But it is still a challenge, but all I need is that dehumidifier, and it's gonna be perfect for me. So it's up to you how you like your jalapenos. Some people want them extra hot. They are spicy, the redder they get. There we go. So we have red and green cowboy candy. Yes, so I'm so obsessed with this pepper plant, you guys. This is a Chinese 5-color pepper plant. It's beautiful. And that's our other one here. It's like a freaking tree. But again, they've seen better days. They've been through it the last few weeks, guys. It's been a couple of weeks. If you guys were part of last week's lives, there were a lot of tears. I had to cut down plants. It was, you know, those things are always humbling. Little baby. Oh, and last night I picked some poblano peppers and I roasted them. Oh man, they were awesome. I just had it roasted with some chicken and just a salad on the side. Oh my gosh. Salad from the garden, of course. Lights down because I feel like it's so freaking hot. All right, let's. So you guys, it's an improvement from my second grow. So this is my third run. Second grow, I had a jalapeno plant, and I only got 1 jalapeno throughout the whole run. It was so pathetic. So now, I'm pretty proud because I've got 2 thriving jalapeno plants. You got any others? We got a little baby there, but it says that you need 1 pound jalapenos for this recipe. So this is what I've got so far. Little mixture. No, I called it a poblano. It's ancho poblano. So what I'm harvesting now is jalapenos. But this is my ancho poblano plant. So I just harvested all the peppers from it yesterday, but there's a couple left. And then we have more jalapenos to harvest on this side. They're looking healthy, but like there's some, obviously they're lacking nutrients, and they're also, these are not looking healthy. They're in shock. I had some root rot from overwatering, and I gave them a root rinse over the last couple of days, and so they're not really happy right now, but I have faith that will bounce back. Jalapenos are 5,000 Scoville units. So compare the Chinese 5-color pepper plant, which is this one right here. These ones are 30 to 50,000 units. The jalapenos are 5,000 units. So jalapenos are hot, but I have a high spice tolerance, so I can handle jalapenos. But what we've been talking about a lot on these lives is how with jalapenos or even poblanos, I bought a poblano from the store to do a store-bought versus homegrown taste test, and they need to appeal to the consumer, and people don't like it when things are too spicy. So it's like online, you can find it, jalapenos thing, and so they genetically modify them to make them less spicy, appeal to the consumer. But mine are like OG jalapenos. So yes, to answer your question, they are super hot. All right, so here's what we've got so far. And keep in mind, I harvested like, I don't know, 20 jalapenos yesterday, some for myself, which I still have upstairs, like 10 jalapenos in the kitchen. And then I also gave some to my friend yesterday. Reef Commander says I've been munching on jalapenos straight out of the garden lately. Wow, I don't know how that doesn't hurt in one way or another, but isn't that a little spicy to just grab them and eat them straight out of the garden? All right, I'm gonna harvest the rest of these. I'll just face you guys like this. This is a nice one. Some of them are so stunted, they're so baby, and then they already start to ripen. There's a few things, once I confirm that none of my other plants are diseased and I don't have to reset my entire garden after what you guys saw I went through last week, I'm gonna start a Armenian cucumber plant, and we're gonna start some new zinnias, and we're going to make these plants that we currently have in the best condition they can be, and just really focus on getting the garden to where it was, but even better, because now I have control over the humidity once I get that dehumidifier today. So I'm pretty excited. I feel like I'm leveling up in the world. Color pepper candy sound interesting. Yes, oh my gosh, they're so good. Wish I could spicy food. Even if you can't, like, I didn't plan properly when I was doing this garden, or when I was starting seeds, so I started so spicy varieties, which is so stupid, because what am I going to do with all this? So I think for the Chinese 5-color peppers, because I've been eating, I can only have like one as in my seasoning, because it is so hot. So I think I might dry them. Either I'm going to dry them and make a seasoning or a spice, or I'll make a hot sauce. And also, what I want to do is I want to take my poblano peppers and put them in the smoker, and I want to make a smoked peach and smoked poblano salsa. I saw a recipe online and it looks so good. Just gonna turn you guys here. So are you guys interested? Like, you know, I talk about growing, and I dedicate these lives to, you know, all things garden, but are you guys interested in what I do with the food? Like a cooking segment or a canning segment or even a storage segment? If you guys are interested in something like that, let me know because I'd be happy to switch it up one of these lives. I wish I had a dehydrator. I don't. I've already hit up Harvest Right. You know, I'm like, yo, hook me up. I'm just saying, I don't actually ask for anything, and I didn't actually hit them up. I just, I watch them from afar. But yeah, if you guys are interested in something like that, so, you know, I'm gonna make the cowboy candy. I'm just gonna try it out myself. I am very clumsy. I mess up a lot, and so I might want to do that for the first time off the live. But yeah, or maybe I'll do it on the live. We'll see. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Maybe tomorrow will be cowboy candy day. Normally Tuesdays are tomato pruning day, except I pruned them yesterday in a panic after everything that happened last week. So just to show you guys the end result, there's our jalapeno harvest. And again, I harvested like, I don't know, I would say maybe 20 yesterday. Woo! I told you I'm clumsy. Anyways, there they are. There's our jalapenos. Some of them are big, some of them are small, but we're gonna slice them up, see how much we got, and yeah, we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted. Maybe I'll do it on a live. We'll see. But yeah, I think that's it for today. So yeah, come hang out with me tomorrow. We are going to continue to either fix things in the garden or maybe we'll make some boy candy. I don't know. Like I said, I think that's one of those things where I'm gonna try. I might try it first, but then it takes away from the excitement of doing it for the first time on the live, you know? So let me think about it. Let me see if I can get the ingredients together and prep, and if I can get my shit together by tomorrow. Do I need somebody for a taste test? Yes, I invite you all to come enjoy some cowboy candy. I'm just kidding, but I think it'll be probably too spicy for everyone. These jalapenos are hot. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. This community is awesome. You guys are great. I just appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out with me every day. And we'll see you tomorrow. Maybe we'll switch it up tomorrow. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe we'll do a cowboy candy stream tomorrow at noon. I will keep you posted. If I do end up doing that, I'll schedule it later this afternoon so that you guys know, so that you can tune in, and I'll also post about it in the community just to let you guys know, because it'll be a bit different, and so, you know, maybe some of you guys will want to join in on the fun. So yeah, maybe we'll try that tomorrow. Everybody, have a positive, wonderful day. Thank you all for tuning in and out with me, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. I wait sometimes because the stream lags, and Jack Ashes says, I always wanted to be a cowboy. Well, have Jack Ashes, maybe one day.